Hi, you guys. So I've been promising I was gonna put these videos up about Portia. I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna go live because too much stuff is happening. Um, and I don't even know where to start. I was trying to make some notes this time because some I'm reading some of the comments and some other YouTubers are saying that people are, and it is in the comments and some on some of the pages that people feel like Portia coming back may not have been the best move for the show. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Um, Personally, I like that she's there. I felt like it was a good add-in for Shamea, right? Even though Shamea was already a friend to the show, but with Candy not being there, um, it just wouldn't have made sense to make Shamia a peach holder and then Portia not be there to me. So I don't really get what people were saying and what they see. I think a lot of women are also not a fan of her and the constant talk about other people's men, right? OPP, right? Other people's property. Like, it's a lot of that. And I think that is a bit of a turn off, even though I'm not married, but I'm just saying, it's still a turn off. It's a bit of a turn off to keep you know, beating that drum. We get it. You guys, some of y'all will mess with folk husband. We get it. Right? And so I mean, because you have the thing now with what's his name? Ralph. Even though she did not set that up and Shamil was just in an interview today or yesterday, and she was saying that she was the one who invited Portia to this meeting with Ralph so Portia can get her lick back or whatever she was saying. Um, and I mean, we all see it. We get what she's saying with that as far as Drew filming with Dennis. So it's kind of, even though they were saying they're not going tit for tat, but it kind of feel like they, Ralph and Portia was doing a little tit for tat with that. And then Shamia said she didn't want to meet with him by herself, but she already worked with him. So it really wouldn't have been an issue if she would have met with him by herself. I don't think anybody would have been thinking all of that anyway. But there is a YouTuber, I know I'm supposed to be talking about Portia, but there is a YouTuber allegedly saying that there may be some issues between Shemay and her husband. I don't know. I was listening to the girl's video, and I didn't hear no evidence of that. People say a lot of stuff, and that don't make it necessarily true. They're trying to pull you in and watch their video because I didn't hear any real reason for her to feel like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even remember her name. She's a new YouTuber. So I don't know. I don't know what's true and what's not. But that video is out here. Y'all can put it in the search engine, child, and it'll come up. But I don't know. I don't think that that's true. And I don't know. I feel like Shami and her husband have a real marriage. Now I could be wrong, but her husband just don't strike me as the type of person to have all this concern about like that. But I could be wrong. Okay, I'm not saying I'm right, but I don't see it. Like I said, without the evidence of that, I'm not gonna be out here believing all of that stuff like that. I think that that's just something to say. But she felt like maybe that's why Shamia is so cool with Portia saying some of the stuff that Portia's saying. That was what she was kind of leading with. I mean, some other people have been saying that too. Like, why is Shamia not checking? I think Angela even said it on the show, right? Like, she, as a wife, why she didn't check Portia for making that statement. I don't think Shamia was there. I don't remember if Shamia was there. I think Kelly was there because Kelly came out confirming that Portia did, in fact, make that statement. And speaking of that, Portia and the Angela situation, how do y'all feel about all of that? Like I said, it is it gives you a kind of like, okay, it's a lot of talk about Portia and other folks, man, but maybe Portia's doing that intentionally. Cause I thought that too. I was saying, well, maybe she's just playing on what people are saying about her because of what people were saying about her and Simon and Fallon. Even though y'all said right up here with me, y'all saw Fallon pregnant by a whole nother man, okay, while she was going through her divorce. And so it was clear that whatever was going on between Fallon and Simon had already started. And I believe they both admitted to it at some point that their divorce was already in the works. Kind of like Portia and Simon's divorce is in the works, right? and it's still in the works. And so I mean, it's not really the same thing. It's not like she was taking somebody, obviously Simon let her know that things were going on with between him and Fallon, and he was just ready to move on or whatever. But I do agree with people who feel like when men are married, you should let them just go and let them get a divorce, at least before you start making things public, right? Because it gives that wife or that ex-wife or soon to be ex-wife the opportunity to be messy with that information, right? Because now she can just say, oh, he was doing this and he was doing that, when that may not even necessarily be the case. But yeah, so yeah, it's a lot of talk about that as well. So I don't know what angle Portia's coming from with that. Maybe she's just playing, like I said, she's just playing off everybody saying, thinking that she taking everybody men, so she just playing off of it. But a lot of women don't like the conversation. Now Michelle, ATL and Brown, and I guess I don't know if she don't like Portia or not. I know she don't care for, for Candy. um, but she was saying that the ratings are kind of low for the show. She goes over the ratings every week. Why? I don't know. Y'all would have to go over there and ask her. But she's saying the ratings are low, um, this season for the show. But then you guys have to remember this show was the highest rating show for Bravo for a long time. And so if you're comparing that to that, then that's where that's coming in at, right? And that's where I'm thinking, like, she's just comparing it to how it's probably have done in the past. And the show has been on for a long time. We should not even expect it to have the same ratings to me. Even though I like it, I'm enjoying it. I like Angela. I think a lot of people are taking to Angela. Um, I'm on the I don't know, what's the saying? I'm on the fence. I don't know about Kelly. I'm still like, what's really going on with that? And I'm not even to be mean. I'm just saying I don't know what's going on with that. And then Britt as well. Like I feel like Angela is definitely a good fit for this, for the women that have already been there. Um and I probably would have liked to see her interact with some of the other women like Nene and Candy, you know, and we're not seeing a lot of Cynthia. But did they give Cynthia a peach or something? I don't know. I don't that whole thing. I don't know. And I'm still waiting to see Phaedra. So maybe when Phaedra shows up, we'll see the ratings do a little bit better because I feel like people think that Phaedra may come on there and discuss certain things or make reference to certain things, which I don't really think she will. I don't think she is gonna talk about that whole situation with Candy, especially since Candy don't want to really talk about it. She just wants everybody to know that she can keep Phaedra off the show, which I didn't think was fair, and I already talked about that. I'm not gonna go back through it. And then the other thing with Portia, that Michelle was also reporting, is that she's claiming that I guess they went to, I guess it's been a week now, they went to court, and that Portia's lawyer, I'm speaking her divorce from Simon, was asking to kind of speed up the process because Portia, I guess, and this is Michelle. This is allegedly, child. I got to say allegedly because this is not even my opinion. This is Michelle talking. So this is third hand information. She was saying that the lawyer was saying that Portia, wanted to speed up the process or whatever of the divorce. And I guess Michelle was saying because of the legal fees or what have you. Um, and she was also saying that the judge was not really leaning towards Portia as far as her keeping um, this house or whatever. Um, because to my understanding, and Michelle and other people have been reporting that Simon's been using some different names and stuff. So we don't even know if he's legally even married to Portia, how that works legally. If he was using a name other than his given name to marry this woman, is her marriage even legal? And so this is what Michelle was saying. Portia's lawyer is saying that they want the prenup to still be upheld, um, because he agreed to it, right? Regardless of what name he was under or whatever they try to say about if their marriage was, because if they've been married, well, they've been married over a year, so they wouldn't legally, I mean, need to go through a divorce, right? So, Um, I don't know. What do y'all think about that whole situation about the divorce? Which she is not really talking about Simon. She's making a couple references to her situation, but she's not really talking about it to anyone really on the show. I think she had one, mm, heart to heart with Kelly, because Kelly is going through a divorce as well. And I don't even understand the whole Kelly storyline. Do y'all? Let me know in the comments, because we haven't been introduced to her husband, and so it's like what are we really? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still up in the air about Kelly and Brittany, because people were saying they thought Brittany was going to be more of the villain taking over where Kenya left off, but then um, we're not really seeing that. I don't really see much of Brittany. I feel like the show really is centered around Porsha, even though people feel like it's not. And I feel like they're saying that because she's not like snapping on folk. You know what I mean? She's not really going there like back and forth with people like she probably would have been doing with Marlo or Nene. But then Marlo and Nene give you that type of aggression. You know what I'm saying? Where you have to meet them at the gate. You know what I mean? And I don't think these women are necessarily giving Portia that. And so there's no reason for her to, I don't know. I don't know what people are looking for from her. I feel like most of the storyline, she got the Drew thing going. There's this whole thing that Michelle was talking about, how she's not supposed to be filming in Simon's house. And I believe he was saying that before he was sent to this detention, which I don't know what's going on with that either, because some baller report just reported that the judge in her divorce case was saying that he needs to show up at the next meeting. And I don't know how that works. Like, how do they request him? Do his lawyer go through that to get him from the detention center or whatever? However they work that out. I don't know. But they were saying, Baller Alert was saying that they want him there. Um, and Michelle seems to think at the end of the day, the judge will probably say they have to sell the house and just split it or whatever. Because if you guys remember, they did go and buy a house together. Because I think people are thinking that this is the same house he was in with Fallon, and it's not. I think they bought another house together or something. And so this is why Portia felt like she should, I guess, have a right to. But I think that was still before they got married. So technically it's Simon's house at the end of the day. But um I don't know, because I don't know how I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know how none of that stuff work. I do wish Simon well on the citizenship thing. I think that's unfair to remove him, and we got all these damn millions of people running around, so and I want to get off into that. But to me, because he, whatever y'all try to say he did in the 90s, that stuff don't matter, because it was minor. It's not like he murdered. It's sick stuff running around this country right now. So are we comparing these situations? So if you're gonna let these people sit in here, y'all should give him his citizenship, since he applied for it. At least he won it. Some of these people. Let me not get off topic. I'm still talking about Portia. So yeah, but let me know what y'all think about the whole Portia divorce situation in the comments. Michelle was reporting, I think they have another court date coming up, like I said, and she was saying, and Baller Alert was reporting that the judge is requesting his presence. And I guess that's just to go over whatever it is that they need to split or whatever. Because as you guys know, he was saying that he didn't want Portia filming in his house or his car. However, I do believe she is recording her YouTube show. I don't know if y'all following her YouTube page, child. Because like I was saying, whatever y'all think she was lacking on that show, she's certainly making up for it on YouTube. So she got the baby daddy confessional, so she got Dennis over there, and some people don't like that, but it is what it is. That is her child's father. So technically he is family, and they're not in a relationship anymore. So I don't think it's that type of situation where she have him in the house the way you guys are people are saying it. But some people don't like that she is filming the YouTube show at the house that she shared with Simon and have Dennis coming over there. Now I don't know if Dennis was going over there when Simon was out or not. I don't know. I don't think that they even were talking about that. He was saying that he felt like Simon came in and took his family because, as you know, they obviously probably already knew each other. Because that's what I was thinking, that um, Shamea's husband already knew Simon anyway, right? When you think about Atlanta, even though this was at one time a black city, there's probably a smaller African people from Africa populate because they don't like to be called African child. I mean, it's all kind of foolishness on this internet right now. I don't know if y'all be paying attention, but I believe he's Kenyan. Simon is Kenyan, but I don't know where. Not Simon. Shamia's husband is Kenyan. Now she said that today in an interview. I don't know where Simon is from, but I'm pretty sure in their community, they probably have crossed paths with them both being businessmen, you know, in a certain tax bracket, because it's not like it's no huge, you know what I'm saying, community of these peoples together like that. Not just African black men in general. So I'm pretty sure they have crossed paths and probably already knew each other. I don't know if Dennis knew him already, or not. I don't really hear them having that conversation, but I'm pretty sure he met Simon before, right? Before we found out that Portia was getting ready to marry him. I feel like they probably had already met each other. So Simon probably okay with Dennis being there. He probably just don't want Portia filming there, right? Um, I feel like he feel like don't make money off of my stuff. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's where Simon is coming from. I don't know, but that's kind of how he was like. He didn't want her filming there or in his car, and we already know Portia was in the car already. Um, but yeah, so it's a lot of stuff going on her YouTube channel as well. And so I feel like whatever y'all ain't getting from the show, child, y'all can go over to her YouTube channel and get it from the YouTube. The stuff she over there saying and doing, because she do have Dennis over there. She had her mother over there. I'm not sure who else she will invite on over there. She probably will film with some of the ladies from the show at some point. Right. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this season? Do you think Portia's adding to this season or not? Do you think that they should have just replaced, her spot with another person, another new wife? Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about the divorce situation? The judge is demanding that Simon is there. I guess so Simon can really say what it is he want to happen, right? Because I feel like that's what their divorce is about, them splitting certain things. I don't think it's really anybody's not contesting getting, the actual divorce. It's just about, what he want her to have, what he don't. Um, and what they have together that they're supposed to split. And so I think that's what it's really about. So maybe the lawyer can get the government to release him for that the next court date, because I don't understand what else there is for them to, because they don't have kids together. Um but what do y'all think about all of that, the whole divorce situation? And Portia meeting up with Ralph, do you feel like that was just because some people were saying it was? I don't really feel like that was disrespectful because Drew is divorcing Ralph. And then I also was tripping on Ralph trying to confirm that that Drew was really messing around with Ty. Um, I thought that they was just doing all that for the movie to try to promote that movie because they were in a movie together, Drew and Ty. But I guess it was really because Mimi was saying that it was real. Remember, Mimi was reading the text messages as well, and Ty was engaged to Mimi Foss from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta at one point. And so I don't know. I guess they was really, I don't know. Maybe they were just talking. You know what I mean? So do you even consider that cheating? Because some people don't consider women together as cheating, or two, the same sex relationships. They don't consider that cheating. Some people. Do y'all consider that cheating? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, he tried to confirm that or just put that out there because he is in the process of his divorce. proceeding with Drew on the show. I feel like their divorce probably is final by now, right? Because we understand this show was filmed last year. But let me know what y'all think about all this stuff in the comments. And like I said, how do you feel about Portia coming back? Do you feel like she's adding to the show? The whole thing about her sleeping with um Angela's husband, Charles, or well, she didn't sleep with him. She was talking about she should. That whole situation, her meeting up with Ralph, possibly getting back with Dennis, or do you think that I don't really know. I don't know what to think about the whole Dennis situation because somebody was saying Portia should have a boyfriend. Um and that person is married as well. I don't know. How do y'all feel about her constantly having these type of conversations about men who are already in situations or they're in the process of divorces? Let me know what y'all think about that whole conversation. Um and then her relationship with Shamia. I think that's the other part of what I wanted to talk about. I want to say this about the Shamia thing and then I'm gonna get off of here. I don't know if you guys remember, and I don't remember what season it was, but I don't think I had this channel, but I believe I said it in somebody's comments or in their on their webpage. I find it very interesting that Candy and Shamira became real close. I said this before, real close, while Candy was kind of going through it with Portia. If you guys remember that, like if you remember that whole thing that happened between Portia and Candy and Phaedra, Shamia was real close to Candy. And I was saying, like, I don't know how I would feel if my best so called best friend was running around with somebody that I'm going through it with right now. Even if you think it's just for the show. Like that wasn't a real good look. So I don't know that I believe Shamia and Portia have really been BFFs for a long time. I feel like maybe they knew each other in childhood, but they were not necessarily best friends. Because it could be that too. Maybe they're just telling us that because they've known each other so long. Because I just find it hard to believe that she built that type of relationship with Candy if while Portia was going through it with Candy. Because I remember I also said I feel like Candy was trying to hold on to Shamia as a friend because she wants to be able to get in Portia's business. See, because you're running around with her so-called best friend, and if Shamia got things going on with Portia, or if she's having issues with Portia, she's probably going to talk about this stuff to Candy or in front of Candy. Even though that one episode with Candy, and I think it was Don Juan or one of her Candy Code Click, was saying something about Portia, and Shamia did correct them, right? But the cameras was there. Just imagine them sitting around talking and the cameras are not there because Shamia was doing a lot of modeling for Tag. I don't know if Candy still have Tag's boutique or not, but she was doing a lot of modeling for Candy during that time as well, like wearing the clothes that were, the new stuff coming in that was in the store or online. And so yeah, I thought that their relationship was kind of odd. That you claiming you my best friend, but you running around with somebody I don't really get along with right now. So, but let me know what y'all think about that. About their relationship because they're both saying, trying to make it like all of this just fell out the sky because some people feel like Angela is kind of, you know, playing both of them against each other. I didn't really feel like that. Like I said, I just felt like something was already going on anyway off camera. If there is really something going on in their relationship. But then I already thought that anyway because I didn't get the Shamia and Candy situation. And it's Shamia's birthday as well. Happy birthday to Shamia Morton. And I noticed that Portia put up some pictures and she wished her happy birthday with a nice little note. Candy, the baby mama, Candy, had to put up a whole video with all these pictures, all of them hanging out, And I'm just like, it's like almost like she tried to outdo Portia to me, this is just me on the outside watching this mess. And I'm like, why she put this long ass video together of her and this girl? And you know what I'm saying? It just came off messy to me. I don't know. That's what I think. You guys let me know what y'all think if y'all saw that post. If you saw both of the posts, because Candy posted Shamea, and then Portia, of course, posted her as well. And like I said, it was just tickling me that she did that. But and I also do think that Candy tries to, I think that she sprinkles a little salt too with that, with the whole Shamea and Portia situation, and because there really could be something going on between Portia and Shamea that we don't know about. See, it's all the stuff we don't know. To me, that's how I feel about it. But you guys can let me know how you feel in the comments about this season. If you feel like Portia's not really bringing it this season, and you feel like they could have put somebody else in her place. Are you over her talking about folks' husbands, OPP? Are you do you think that she may or may not get back with Dennis? Another thing that Dennis was saying over there on the Baby Daddy, I keep calling it Chronicles, but I think it was Confessions. Baby Daddy Confessions, saying that he wanted to have more kids. So I don't know. But I just don't see them getting back together, to me, just based on all the stuff that already went on. But you never know. Let me know what you guys think about all of that as well. I think Portia and Dennis are a lot alike. And then they have a child, so they should get along. You have to make sure you're doing the best thing for your child. That's the best way to handle that situation anyway, regardless if he getting on her nerves or she getting on his nerves. At the end of the day, they still got to get together and do what's right for their child. And I really think that that's really all it is. But some people, I don't know, they kept saying, "Oh, y'all so cute," all this stuff in the comments. I'm like, "Oh Lord, let her get her divorce. The woman is still married. Let her get a divorce before she start moving on to all these people." But somebody else was reporting that she, like I said, that she already have a boyfriend already. So I don't know. But let me know what y'all think. Do y'all feel like Portia's adding something to the show this season? Do you feel like she's the reason that the show's not doing as well as it could do? How do you feel about her and Shamea? Do you think that there was something already going on between her and Shamea, and it's just playing out a little bit on the show? Because personally, I think that something was already going on, and it's been going on for years. Because, like I said, I was kind of side eye with the Candy stuff, because if I'm Portia, I would feel some kind of way about her having friendships with somebody that I don't really get along with like that. I'm not telling her she's a grown woman, what she should do, who she should be friends with. However, I wouldn't put that image out if that was my best friend. I wouldn't be running around with Candy like that. And then Candy got the whole video up, birthday video, and it just gives Candy stuff like that, fuel like that. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next video.